Hello, hello, my dear health seeker. Inga from Health Origins here. So today I'm excited because I'm going to be trying a new recipe for me that I found on Loving It Vegan website. So thanks for that. So I'm going to be trying a whole grain bread and no-knead whole grain bread, yeasted bread. So let's begin. So this recipe is so super simple, you guys. So all I did was I measured out 520 grams whole grain flour, or 4 cups. Then I've added a packet of this fast action dried yeast, so just sprinkle on there, and half a teaspoon of salt, pink Himalayan salt I've just sprinkled, and I'm gonna just mix that. So that's your dry ingredients. So mix that up. And then next we're going to prepare our wet ingredients. So this is 2 cups or 408 milliliters of water, so just under 500 ml. And then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. 1, 2. And mix that up, and that is it. So all you need to do then is pour your wet ingredients into your dry, incorporate it all, and then we're going to be adding it to the our tin. So yeah, so the dough is incorporating the water, so just mix it really well. So there you go. I think I've mixed it quite well now, and all we're going to do now is to transfer that dough into our prepared bread tin. So you can either oil this bread tin, or I don't use oil, so I've just sprinkled the bottom of the pan with some rice flour. So I'm gonna add the bread mixture in here. It's kind of quite a wet dough, so it's not really kneadable quite like that, but it's not too watery, it looks like, either. So it's kind of a paste, if you like. So I'm gonna try and distribute this as best as I can to level it out in the tin, and at the end it'll help to actually get the spoon wet, to make sure you kind of gloss it and smooth over it. So I've got my bread leveled out the best I can, and then I'm gonna leave this to rise for about 20 to 30 minutes, or until it kind of doubles in size. So pretty much for me it should come up to the top, or just over the top of this tin. So I'm gonna cover it with like a plastic bag. You can use cling film, or you could just loosely cover it, or you could use also tin foil too. You obviously don't want to put a towel, because then you'll probably get some dough sticking to your towel if it rises above that level. So I'm just gonna loosely cover it and leave it, and we'll check it in a bit. So it's been half an hour and the bread has risen nicely. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put it in a preheated oven of 200 degrees Celsius, or about, I think, 400 Fahrenheit it is. So I'm gonna put that in and bake it for about 40 minutes, or until, you know, it sounds hollow when you tap on the, you know, on the bottom of the tin. There we go, we've got the bread. So it's been 40 minutes on 200 degrees, and what I did was I've kind of turned it over and tapped the bottom a bit slightly, and if you hear a hollow sound, which pretty much seems to me a hollow sound, then it's ready to go. So I'm gonna let it rest for a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna try and, you know, loosen out the edges and take out the loaf to cool down more. So it's been 5 minutes, and I wouldn't recommend leaving any longer than that, because there's the heat inside and a little bit of moisture still trapped underneath, and you need to take it out so it kind of evaporates. Otherwise you'll have a soggy bottom bread, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna try and loosen out as much as I can. It is a little bit tricky because I didn't oil the tin. We just don't have oil in our house, so perhaps if you have a little bit of oil, that would be a good idea, because it'll be easier for you to get the bread out at the end. But hopefully it'll still work for me. So just try and you don't want to kind of squish and deflate the loaf either, and I don't want to use like metal utensils like a knife, because that could scratch my tin. So perhaps next time I'll maybe oil it with something, maybe like a tahini or a bit of oil from nut butters or something. I might use that actually. So try and loosen it to the bottom like this until you feel it's coming off the edges quite well. There we go, and then we'll turn it over and give it a few slaps. Woohoo, voila! That's awesome. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of moisture and heat in there, so you wanted to leave it to dry like this, upside down, you know, for whatever, half an hour perhaps, or how long it takes to cool down the bread completely, and then we're gonna be slicing and trying it out. The bread has been cooling down for about an hour, so it's pretty much cold now. Well, not hot anymore. And I've got a bread knife, so you want a good bread knife for this. So let's see what we have. I'm intrigued to see what texture is inside. That's pretty good. Actually, the bread is still a bit warm. It needs to cool down even more. So you can see it's a little bit gummy still. So I'm gonna let the bread cool down even more and then slice it in a bit. The bread has definitely cooled down now. So I'm gonna do another slice. Yeah, it's slicing actually quite good. Gonna do a slice for my husband as well. Yeah, it's nice, and it's got quite good crumb texture really. So all that's left to do is to taste test. So let me give this bread a taste test now. It's pretty good. It doesn't have much taste. It's pretty neutral, so that would be great for a toast, you know, to go with something either sweet or savory. Oh, it would go so well with my cashew basil pesto. Yummy. And if you wanted an even harder crumb, although, you know, the outside of it, it's got quite a nice skin, but if you want it even harder, you could bake it at 210 to start with for like about 20 minutes, and then reduce it to about 200 or 190 degrees Celsius for the remainder, and that would give you even a harder skin on the bread. But I think that's perfectly fine. It's quite nice, the crust. Yeah, it's great. So if you wanted this bread to be more savory, you could add caraway seeds, for example. You could add onion or garlic powder as well to make it, you know, you could add some herbs as well, like Italian herbs, for example, so that would make it more of a savory bread. Whereas, you know, this one, because it's neutral, you could have it both for sweet and savory, which is, I think, it's a winner. So that's it. So it's a successful first try of no-knead whole grain bread. If you try this, I mean, this is so simple. Really, you've got to try this and let me know how it worked out for you guys. And if you're new here, welcome, and subscribe for more videos like this. I'm all about, you know, quick and easy, healthy, tasty recipes here on this channel. And remember, food is fuel, so be mindful of what you put in your body. Until next time.